Hey there, everyone. Nice to see you. This is episode 29 of Project 2 of The Joy of Functional Game Dev and the GitHub repository where it's v0.28.1. I have done some refactoring of the code, and we're going to get into that, and we're actually going to kind of finish up what I was doing. Because as I was going through, we can minimize this out. This is WinMerge, and there are a great many differences in what the code was and what the code has now become. In a lot of cases, see if I got a good case here. Okay, this was the old distance formula test wrapped. And here are the locations, and I did a sequence fold and all this other stuff. And over time, what I have realized is that well, for one thing, thinking in folds is hard, and writing folds and then writing folds is hard, and reading folds after you've written them, it's hard. So here's what I've started doing. Rather than doing sequence fold and then putting the fun whatever right in there, making a local binding that gives me the function, and so then I can take a look at it, and it's a lot more easy to understand for me. And I think in many cases it may be easier to show what's going on in the fold. I've started using the places where this, because sometimes you can put the accumulator here, but this is, I think, easier to read. And there's actually one spot here, and also I've started to, okay, this is where I stopped. It is, and then actually set of seek, don't mind me, set to list. Okay. Yes, now why in the world did I just do that? And certain things, actually I'm going to go to event pump, because event pump is a place where before I would call all of this plus new state, and now I'm using partial application of functions, because this was repeated in two places, and so I said, nope, I'm going to bind something to it, and it's keep pumping, and so actually it's shorter here, more reduction in some of the code. And there are lots of places where I can really... Did I not do this one? I need to do that one. My goodness, I did not. This one here is... So, okay. This is a really good one. So map create. I can really demonstrate what's going on. That's what I'm doing here. So under... Is it map cells? Map create. Alright. So before, my generation of a name was a recursive thing. And so I had to start with a name, and it didn't make a whole lot of sense of why I'm doing that way. And that's because up until a few days ago, while I was okay with using folds and recursive functions, I was not well versed in the potential applications for unfold. And well, now I've got a little bit more. So rather than this thing here, I now have a unfold. And similar to the folds, I actually factor out the function. And the return types are a little funky, I must admit. And not that I really need to necessarily specify these, but I'm just more now in the habit of um, not using type inference quite so much. So in an unfold, if you're not familiar, the function unfold, I call it an emitter, because really what you're doing is you've got an initial state. In my case, my initial state is a length and whether or not I'm on a consonant, and it continues to pass that in until it's done. Now it's done, so I pass it into generate character. It is done when length is 0. So okay, so length. So when I'm doing this, I don't really need all that white space, do I? All right, so as I go through, it's like if length is 0, then none. Otherwise, I'm going to, this is the bit that generates the random consonant or random vowel, depending on what the value of consonant is. And then it's the new state, which is length minus 1, and then you flip from consonant to vowel or vowel to consonant. So that's very straightforward. So it goes bloom, bloom, bloom. The return type is string and then int star bool. So int star bool is our state. Int star bool is our state. And string is the thing that we're taking our state and making it into a sequence of those things. So really, in my brain, I like to think of an unfold as here's an initial state, send it to this thing which emits a sequence of something until I say I don't have any more. So it's kind of it's a different way of looking at it, and it's much better. See, like all the unfolder here. It's also when I generate names, and then also I don't have to take that initial string. I'm not doing recursive functions, although in a way I kind of am, because that's what this does. So I called this thing unfolder, which is a really bad name. I'll just call it an emitter. Because I couldn't come up with a good name for what that function is. Because basically all it does generate a name and then adds that. So now, all right, so I start with how many I need and an empty set. And my ending condition is the number that I sent there having the same number in a name set, which is a set of strings. So one of the things I do is that whenever I generate a name, I add it to that, which means that the name can appear twice in the sequence after the unfold is done. And that is why I then say, well, now give me a set of them so that it eliminates all the duplicates. And then I set it to a list, and then I order it randomly. But here's a this episode, I'm all about, hey, let's make this stuff a little bit better for reading. You may also notice, or not, some things like there's the sum locations function is called a sum locations function, and I'll go to the definition of it. And so it is a that thing. So whatever so I got one of these sum location. So my sum locations function takes that. That's my signature. And this is a so that if because like here I am with functions that are more or less interfaces. And so let's make it so we only have to change that in one place. And then everything else is all groovy. So this right here is another one where it's like, okay, well, here's my map. The map is a map of cell location map cell. Well, that's really a cell map of map cell, isn't it? And that's also a cell map of map cell. So let's stop all that junk. Let's make that right. Okay. So I've got this right here is nearly impossible to read, and I believe it was kind of challenging to write probably. So instead, let FoldFunk takes these things and that. Okay. Contains key. See, and this is where delta, which is probably a cell location. And terrain must be a map terrain. Map terrain. Even put the return type, which is undoubtedly. What are you? You will return a cell map. So map cell. So that's very cool, and we can just take FoldFunk and put that right there. So, what does this make this any better? So my FoldFunk, which takes a map of cells and a delta and terrain and returns a cell map. The first thing I do is I sum the location, sum the delta and location. Now, for this thing, I like. I'm starting to prefer the construct of this. So I'm going to say, hey, give me a sum of the locations. Those two things, sum them up. So map location, so if the map contains it, then yeah, I could do other things here. See, and I don't. But what I hate here is I want a conditional way, but I'm like, I want to yeah, this is fine the way it is. It does get improved a little bit in the reading, so now I know when I'm folding. And what am I? What does this even take? Okay, so place island, set the terrain. Oh, I've got my island template, which is pardon me while I wipe stuff off the screen that I just spilled. And hopefully that's not going to be too disastrous. Yeah, I'll have to clean that in a little while. But, you know, that's how it goes sometimes. Good times. My goodness. Well, when you... but okay. So it takes the island template and folds it according to the FoldFunk, but it takes, so the map is the state. The map is what we are updating. Map is what we start with. The map is what we return. And so we do all that, but for each location, I say, all right, well, that's where the terrain goes. So that's now better. And then when I was doing the random stuff, it was pretty much the same code for both random constant and random consonant and random vowel. And so I came up with this random from list, which is a hey. I could probably find, I will likely find a use for this plenty of times. And actually, yeah. Generating names, now there are unfolds. I stopped there. I'm going to stop stopping there, because now I am going to rethink how I'm generating these islands. And one of these things, so val locations, so constant map locations. So where are you? See, because one of the things I really don't like is that we have mutables. So this is absolutely no good. So I reject this function as a whole. We're going to fix it. Is there a distance formula test func? Do I have a... Where is that distance stuff? It's over here. I suppose I should call it a func, huh? Distance formula test func. That should be the distance formula test func. I know I made one of these. That's a set terrain func. These are cell maps. That's another cell map. Okay, let's build it, make sure that we're cool. Come on now. 2 succeeded. Alright, so now we're good. So let us take another good look at generate islands. So we have island locations, which is a list of cell locations that is empty, and a list of valid locations. So what is constants map locations? Let's go to the definition of that. Oh, and that's not very nice either. How wonderful is that? World size count. Alright. I don't care for this either. Sequence. These are all the map locations. So that's all. There's undoubtedly undoubtedly there's a better way to do this. To do. We'll put a to do here. To do. Use unfold. My goodness. You know what? Let's do this now. Why wait? So, world size column. Sequence.unfold. We're going to have to put these out here because this does sequence unfold column. Just going to let private unfold columns. Unfold takes int cell and spits out an A. So I gotta Okay. I'm going to have to spit out a sequence, and I'm also going to have to do this sequence reduce thing when I'm all done. So unfold columns, and this is going to unfold columns, unfold, which takes a state, which is int cell, and it's going to return. Okay, and it's going to return. What are these things? This is a cell location star int cell equals. Nope, it's an option. And we'll just have it return none for now, because that should make it okay. Type sequence A. What? Why is it not? Because that was not yet where. Okay. Unfold columns. Then we'll have unfold rows. So world size row sequence dot unfold rows. So if columns equals 0, then none, else unfold rows columns is 1. Oh, right. So this is going to return me a sequence of. We'll get this. We will get this. So what I really want to do is I want to unfold the rows, which means I need a. Actually, this is going to be a sequence of cell location. Small seq. Sequence of cell locations, and there we are. Yep, your 0 cell, then there we go. Unfold rows int cell. That should be a cell location int cell option. All right, where we are. Cool. I'm also going to need column, which is an int cell. Okay. Now, if rows is equal to 0 cell, then none, else column equals column, and row equal rows minus 1 cell. rows minus 1 cell. And got to put a sum. Little weird, but it's an unfold. So unfold rows, columns, minus 1 cell. Does this really improve it? I am not so sure. Okay, so there's unfold that. So, comma, columns, minus 1 cell. What are you? Oh, and that's a sum. So sequence, type int cell to sequence, fold rows. Oh, nah. All right. Because partial application. Okay. Then this becomes a sequence of cell locations, and I do need my sequence reduce again. Is this any better? Not sure. And really, all right. Let's get that into here, or there. We're going to call this rows int cell. And there's rows. Unfold columns. World size not row. Okay. And well, I've done it. Did it help? Did this help? Okay. So, okay, and the map location does that. Okay, so within these, I have an unfold column. Within unfold column, I have an unfold row, and I'm unfolding. See, so much better. Isn't this great? Isn't this the best way to do things ever? Yeah. See, I go off on these bizarre tangents. Okay, but this is a no-no. So let's stop it. So we have a sum locations function. We have the distance formula function. Okay. What are my available? So I've got my map locations, which are a sequence of all of my cell locations. It seems to me, well, valid location. So I make what I'm used to be doing is I'm taking my valid locations and I'm this is so an unfold. So some map of so really Well, that's all right. Okay, so I need my island locations, and I start with my val location. My val locations, this is good. This basically, this part is all fine and dandy. So I got my map that gets passed in. So these things are all right. So I need island locations, which gets spit out. And we're going to copy you. So let island locations equal. And we're going to start with constants, map locations. It's going to be oh yeah, wow. This is going to be shouldn't be too bad. Okay, now we're going to take this, we're going to do sequence unfold. I'm going to call it unfolder for the moment. So let unfolder that's a sequence of cell locations. Cell location equals none. Okay. So I don't currently know what that is, and it's going to return a cell location star. I think I want to set. Set of sequence. So take the unfolder, takes a set of that, and returns A options. Okay. Cell location times set cell location. It's an option for those things. And so. So my unfolder, so my island location should really just be, it's a sequence of cell locations. Oh, it needs to be a list. Okie doke. List of seek. So now we should be cool. So we pass that in. We'll do that. We'll also bring this fold out. But so more or less. So locations set sort. There's no sort. See, this is the hard part. Yeah, I think I just do want a sequence. So locations. Not only that. Sequence sort by fun e random.next. Bothers me a little because that's a whole lot of things to randomly sort. Okay, sequence.head. let location equal that. Well, actually, if there are no locations anymore, if locations is empty, then none else, this other thing. So we've grabbed the location that we like. And we're going to say sum. It's going to be location. And it's going to be our locations filter sequence.filter. I think this can be used. Okay, that location. This actually does look a lot easier to read. So, in my unfolder, which is my call it island, it's an island generator. My island generator, if I don't have anything left in my sequence, then I can't give you one. Otherwise, sort them, give one of them to me, and give me the location, and then get rid of those locations that well, that's super neat. There's the fold. Let island placer map location equals that. I'll do this. Location, we'll take the island placer. Island placer will do that. There. And that really does improve readability. Now, I've improved readability. Does it still work? Does it still not take forever to do this? Let's find out, shall we? Do we generate? Are we going to generate? This is going to kill me. Eek. You know what? I think this will eventually return. Ooh. Kill it. All right. I don't think I need to sort them each time. I think what I want to do here, I'm going to sort them once, and then it's just going to start taking them off the head, and it's going to filter out the ones that I don't want. Please work. I would love for you to work. I'd like to not have to go back to this other stuff. So it randomly sorts all of these things. Oh, that's not so bad. How long is that? Well, perhaps there are other ways that we can innovate getting that a little faster. But it works, and it is unfolding. There's something else I can do here. Because, well, I don't know how long this takes. No clue. How long does that take? And this is another one right here where we say, we're generating locations. What locations are we generating? Um, Exclusion. Generate my world objects. This is right here. See all these function calls? Here's a set object func. So much better. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Cell location map object, cell location, cell map map cell. Go to the definition. I think my set object func is actually, yeah. Map object. Had it wrong. Can't be having it wrong. Where am I? I'm still creating. So let me see this guy. So generate location. I've got a set of cell locations. So all right. So let me try to figure out how this thing all works. All right. So let me see how this is called. Oh, okay. So count is actually the thing to unfold. And yep, all right. Where's exclusion from? Okay. All right. And I don't have to do the input. Okay, so what we're doing here is we take, there's exclusion. So I need, exclusion is needful, but the other one is not. All right. Exclusion. Count and set empty cell location. And this will be a sequence unfold. Okay. Fold, and this is going to be a location emitter. Let location emitter equal none. It's going to take count, which is an int, and locations, which is a set of cell location. Okay. It's going to return a cell location times option int set cell location. All right. Okay, so oh, there, I gotta be doing something wrong here. This is weird. So location emitter, it is going to here's my location. Actually, first off, so if count equal locations dot count, then none else. Okay, otherwise, you're going to determine a location randomly. Okay. If locations contains location, then else. If it contains a location, then this one is going to be some none count locations. Okay. So if I already contain it, then that's a nothing. Otherwise, actually, if location contains location, or exclusion contains location, I'll parenthesize just because it seems like a good idea, where the exclusion contains that. Then we spit out a none, which we then have to factor out, but not a big deal. Okay. Otherwise, we can just sum location count minus 1, comma, locations, remove location. That's going to be some location. So this is a little goofy. So here's my location emitter. And then here's, oh, there's a set. Well, really, Okay, so now we're at a sequence. Sequence.filter fun e dot is sum. Okay, this should be, it says current sequence cell location option. Going to map it. We're going to sequence.map on value set of sequence. There's a set of cell locations. And then we don't need that anymore. Boom. Okay. Did I improve the readability? So the location emitter is a little bit strange because here's my count and my set of things, and I'm going to keep accumulating them until I've got the right number. This probably isn't too bad. But then, because there's going to be all these nuns, haha, nuns, we have to filter them out. We have to map them. So is this necessarily the best unfold? Don't know. Or does it emit? Does it emit sets? What if it emits? Meh, meh, meh. It emits a set, and then it okay. What if it emits a set cell locations? Set empty cell location. So it didn't make any of them. So we're going to go location, set of list. So it is a. So I've now unfolded it. I don't need to do. Oh, okay. Sequence.reduce set dot union. Yeah, union. And it'll take compute the union of the two sets. I think that's about right. So okay. So the location emitter, which emits a set of locations, and then okay, this does simplify. Okay. I like it. But does it work? All right. Let's go. Eek. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, Okay. I'm wondering if it might be better served. I don't know. To okay, it takes 12 seconds. That's all right. It is what it is, and perhaps we optimize it later. This isn't so bad. I would like it to be. I would like it to be pretty much lickety split, but it's a pretty large world. Okay, tell me it's finding things. It found there's an island. Let's actually see that something gets generated in this world. There we go. Here's our guy. So everything's working as proper. And that's a... So, where did we stop? We stopped here. Stopped here. Because generate world object... Look at that. What is that? We'll fix it. Because this is another unfold. My goodness. Generate valid quest. Sure. Look at these folds. All these things. All right. We will get to doing these next time. But I just thought I would show you that, hey, there's getting some getting a little bit of more varied technique. Okay, yes, I was getting pretty good with doing folds, but now I'm doing unfolds. And then there are some of these other functions where, you know, over time you explore things and you gain some more tools in your tool belt. And so today is the day of unfold. And thanks so much for going. So seek set to list. I don't know. Seem to think we might be able to do a similar thing here. Yeah, to do emitter returns a set. Okay, because that'll help with this. Thanks so much for going on this journey with me. And as always, keep that joy of functional game dev alive in your heart. And I'll see you next time.